Hello and welcome to this introduction on SPS. For more information about this presentation, please contact the Department of Plant Pathology at The Ohio State University. So what is SPS and why is it important? The term SPS refers to sanitary and phytosanitary measures in international trade. No country in the world is completely self-sufficient. In order to meet the food and other needs of citizens, countries usually import agricultural and horticultural produce from each other. Unfortunately, imported agricultural and horticultural produce sometimes comes with pests and diseases with which they have been associated in their home environment. Imported agricultural and horticultural products are therefore a pathway for introducing pests and diseases into new environments. In order to prevent this from happening, it was necessary to put measures in place to ensure that international trade takes place safely. Countries of the world therefore came together under the World Trade Organization to negotiate the SPS agreement. The Annex A of the WTO SPS agreement defines an SPS measure as any measure applied to protect animal or plant health within the territory of the member from risks arising from the entry, establishment, or spread of pests, diseases, disease-carrying organisms, or disease-causing organisms. It also protects human or animal life within the territory of the member from risk arising from additives, contaminants, toxins, or disease-causing organisms in food, beverages, or feedstuffs. It also protects human life within the territory of the member from risks arising from diseases carried by animals, plants, or products thereof, or from the entry, establishment, or spread of pests. And lastly, it prevents or limits other damage within the territory of the member from the entry, establishment, or spread of pests. The WTO SPS agreement sets rules governing the sanitary and phytosanitary aspects of international trade. It is the regulatory framework aimed to make sure that phytosanitary measures relevant to trade are consistent with international standards, justified by scientific principles and evidence, harmonized internationally to the extent possible, transparent, only as restrictive as absolutely necessary to meet the appropriate level of protection required, non-discriminatory, appropriate to the conditions in the importing and exporting countries. Since the WTO SPS agreement addresses issues relating to plant, animal, and human health, SPS standards are set by organizations of different international organizations. Phytosanitary standards, known as International Standards for Phytosanitary Measures, are set by the International Plant Protection Convention. The IPPC is a multilateral treaty for international cooperation in plant protection adopted by nearly 160 countries. Operational arrangements concerning food safety are treated by the Codex Alimentarius Commission of the World Health Organization and the FAO, while the World Animal Health Organization, or Organisation Internationale des Espèces, deals with issues related to animal health and thereof. Quarantine pathogens and regulatory needs are common to all members. Following the arrival of the Black Death in Europe in middle 1300s, the Italians imposed a waiting period of 40 days for all ships intending to dock at their harbors. The waiting period allowed only latent infections to manifest. Decisions as to whether the ship would be allowed to dock and discharge passengers or not depended on the health of the passengers at the end of the waiting period. This precautionary principle is used today for animals and plants of suspect or unknown health status that arrive at national entry points. The term is also applied widely to refer to general measures aimed at preventing the spread of harmful organisms from an infested area to non-infested areas. This job is usually performed by staff of the National Plant Protection Organization of each country. In the United States, the NPPO is the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, or APHIS. Countries usually draw up a list of exotic pests. This can be weedy plants, arthropods, fungi, bacteria, or viruses that they want to keep out of their territory. Such organisms are known as regulatory pests.